guys, it's Nicole and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Today we're going to be testing out the new Chick-fil-A meal kit. So if you like videos like this, make sure you stick around to the end so we can share with you 3 things we loved about the Chick-fil-A meal kit and 3 things we would change about the Chick-fil-A meal kit. And without further ado, let's get started.
The Chick-fil-A meal kit we are making today serves 2 and takes approximately 25 minutes to make. The kit came in 2 parts, the pre-cooked chicken as well as a box with all the other pre-packaged ingredients. We're making the box that serves 2 today, however there's also a box that serves 4. The box with all of the ingredients came sealed, which made me feel good about the ingredients having limited exposure to contamination. The directions will be the first thing you see when you open the box. We pulled them out and set them aside to use for later. On the front you'll find a description of the meal kit, and then on the back you're going to find the step-by-step cooking instructions. Inside the box, underneath the instructions, you're going to find the Italian cheese, tomato sauce, creamy garlic Alfredo sauce, a package of noodles, and a box with the lemons, tomatoes, and chopped kale. The first thing you will need to do now is cover a baking sheet with aluminum foil. Next, spray the sheet with non-stick spray and set this aside for later. Now you will need to open the package of pre-cooked chicken. You'll notice this is the same chicken you would get if you ordered one of the classic chicken sandwiches at Chick-fil-A. Now it's time to prep the chicken, but make sure you preheat your oven to 375 degrees first. Next, you can top each piece of chicken with the tomato sauce. We only used half of the packet of sauce, but really you want to use half of the packet on each piece of chicken. The final topping for the chicken is the Italian cheese blend. You want to sprinkle half of the pack of cheese on each piece of chicken. And the final step is to take another piece of foil, spray it with your non-stick spray, and now you can cover the chicken with it without any of the toppings sticking to the top of the foil. Remember to set a timer and bake your chicken for 16 to 20 minutes. And now that we're done with the chicken, it's time to prep all of the vegetables. We made sure to wash all of the fresh produce as per the instructions that came with the meal kit. We thoroughly rinsed off all of the little cherry tomatoes. We then let them drain, and we even gave them an extra little pat to make sure they were definitely dry. After removing all the tomatoes, you're going to then repeat the same instructions, rinsing off all the kale, making sure that it drains, and then patting it dry as well. The directions note at this point to cut the tomatoes as well as the lemon in half. You can also tear any kale leaves you feel are too large. You're going to want to make sure you have a pretty sharp knife to cut through the skins of the tomatoes. As you could see in the video, ours wasn't exactly the sharpest, and we did have a little bit of trouble cutting through all those little cherry tomatoes. And now we finally made it to what is actually the 4th main step in the directions. It's now time to prep the pasta sauce. This requires you to have a skillet with a lid. Per the directions, we first added the kale to the skillet. We then added in the cherry tomatoes that you just saw us dice in one of the last clips. This is followed by the Alfredo sauce. And finally, the last ingredient right now in the sauce is just 1/4 cup of water. This is all being cooked over medium heat, and you're just going to stir everything together just to make sure all the ingredients combine. Once you're done stirring, cover and cook this for 4 to 6 minutes, and you can continue to stir it occasionally, just making sure nothing sticks to your pan, and again, just making sure all the ingredients really get combined together and cook thoroughly. At this point in time, the mixture was still looking a little bit thin to me, so we kept making sure to check in, like it said, stirring occasionally, just to make sure nothing was burning and everything was combining like it should. Step 5 in the instructions gives you encouragement that you're getting close to the end and it's time to finally add in the pasta. This is also when you're going to add in the lemon juice. You're going to want to reduce the heat, cover, and continue cooking for another 2 to 4 minutes. We made sure to stir in the noodles since they came pre-packaged and what seemed to be mostly already cooked. We wanted to make sure that they were all coated in the sauce before covering the dish again. Again, to me, the sauce still looked a little bit thin, but I was holding out hope to the end that all was going to come together and everything was going to work out well. The directions again tell you that you should keep checking in on the noodles, keep stirring them just to make sure nothing's burning and everything's getting mixed together well. And finally, the moment you've all been waiting for, we made it to the end. The pasta is ready to serve. We used tongs to split up the noodles evenly on 2 plates before we went and retrieved the chicken that was still cooking at this time. We felt that the timing of this recipe was so great. Once we were done prepping the chicken and put it in the oven to cook, making the noodles was so easy, and by the time they were done and ready to serve, so was the chicken. And one of the best tips I learned from this entire recipe was spraying the top piece of foil with the baking spray. None of the cheese stuck to the top of the foil, and the chicken turned out perfectly. And it really was that easy. We started out with a box of ingredients and a side of chicken, and we ended up with a really great meal. The prep time and cook time to make this dish was extremely fast. It came with everything you needed, and the instructions were really easy to follow.
Hi guys, it's Nicole and thanks for watching our video. So let's start off with talking about the 3 different things we would change about the Chick-fil-A meal kit. So the first thing we would change about the Chick-fil-A meal kit would be the portion size of the noodles that came with the kit. So when you look at the noodles compared to the amount of chicken that came with the kit, we thought it was just a little bit off balance. So for me, the portion size of the noodles was perfectly fine. But for Derek, he felt it was just a little bit too small and he wished he had a few extra noodles to go with all the chicken. The second thing we would change about the meal kit would be the amount of lemon that we used in the dish. So the meal kit came with an entire lemon, and we cut this in half and squeezed half of the juice into our dish when we were mixing the noodles with the sauce. To our taste, we felt like this was just a little bit too much lemon, and we would suggest using just a little bit less when cooking your dish at home. And the third thing we would change about the meal kit is just the fact that at least in our area right now, there's really only the one meal kit. So we would really love it if Chick-fil-A came out with some different dishes, maybe a Spanish style or Southern or maybe even a Mexican style dish. But we love the meal kit so far and wish there were just some more options. So now for the 3 things we loved about the Chick-fil-A meal kit. So the first thing we loved about the kit was how easy the directions were to follow. Everything was very simple. There was no really guessing when we had to mix any of the ingredients or time anything out, and that was really helpful for me. I think that made the process extremely fast and again made everything easy and kind of foolproof. The second thing we loved about the meal kit is the fact that it came with everything you needed. So all the ingredients were provided for you. We've heard some feedback about a few other meal kits that sometimes when they come, you also have to run out to the grocery store to pick up a few extra things, and that was not the case with this meal kit, so we thought that was great. And the third thing we loved about the meal kit was that it was so simple to make but tasted amazing. We really loved this meal and thought it was absolutely great. We didn't really expect anything less coming out of Chick-fil-A, but you never know. However, we had a really great experience, so we would definitely get it again. And like we said, if Chick-fil-A came out with any different types of meal plans, we would be all for them and definitely recommend getting this and trying it out for yourself. So if you like videos like this, again, make sure you subscribe to our channel down below. If you could give us a like, that would be awesome. And thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.